Hello, if you're new here. Hi, I'm Squid. In this video, I'm going to be attempting to beat Salt and Sanctuary using only firebombs. Well, technically fire pots, but it's close enough. Before we get started, I just want to say that this has already been done by a fantastic content creator called The Backlogs, aka Submerged Lemon. I will link his run and channel in the description, go watch it. It's a much higher quality video and channel than this one. And, if you're watching this, Lemon, consider this my application to the Firebomb Academy. Anyhow, the rules are simple. We can only deal damage using firebombs. Any armor and rings we find are okay to use. We also have to defeat all the bosses in the game. That's it! If you don't know already, firebombs are a consumable item you can throw at enemies. On contact, it explodes in glorious flames. Sounds great, right? It is, but the main drawback is that it doesn't scale with any stats. Meaning the damage it deals at the start of the game is the damage it deals at the end of the game. Which is a bit of a problem. We'll get to that later though. I get started by naming my character. If you know, you know. Then I choose the Pauper starting class. Pauper, however you pronounce it. This is the only class that starts with firebombs. So naturally we pick it. I also take the Grasping Ring for some extra salt. I roll my way past the enemies into the first boss, the Unspeakable Deep. Unfortunately, our 3 firebombs won't deal nearly enough damage to kill it, so I kinda just, That hurt. On the Shivering Shore, I choose the 3 for my creed, because they sell firebombs. After maneuvering through some zombies, I claim the Sanctuary. My current goal is to get as much gold as I can. Merchants in the Creed of the 3 sell firebombs for 100 apiece, so we'll need all the gold we can get. After selling literally everything I own except the clothes on my back, I buy 18 firebombs. Let's see how they fare against the sudden night. That's good damage. Wow, 4 firebombs and he's down. We probably could have gotten it in 3 if he stood still. Not a bad start. Using the gold from the sudden night, I purchased some more bombs. This is a reoccurring theme in the run, just using the previous boss's gold to restock our precious firebombs. It does serve a problem though. If we die too many times, we legitimately won't have enough bombs to progress. Of course, we could scrounge around the map for stuff to sell, but that won't get us too far. So yeah, just don't die. No pressure. Next I make my way over to the Village of Smiles. I talk to a condescending scarecrow, get a nice ring, and it's onto the Queen. She takes quite a few more firebombs to kill than the Sodden Knight, but she's not too bad. It takes a total of 15 bombs to wipe this smile off her face, and it's on to the next area. Before heading to the Watching Woods, I have a few black pearls to spend. Because our firebombs don't scale with anything, I focus on willpower, endurance, and more health potions throughout the run. In the woods, I grab the bright coral ring, then make a hop, skip, and a jump over to the Mad Alchemist, who is, he's there, I guess. He kinda just stood there for a while, and by the time he realized he was burning up, it was too late. The next up is the Kraken Cyclops. They're pretty easy aside from the ever-increasing health bar. Their attacks are pretty similar to the Unspeakable Deep actually, which is fitting. I stock up on bombs, actually hitting the inventory limit, and then go for the False Jester, who stabs me the moment I enter the arena. Again, he's not bad, it's just hard to find safe opportunities to hit him. I get the Vertigo brand, then here. Right here, I do a stupid. See, that item is a ring that increases the damage of firebombs and consumable items. I forgot to pick it up, and I don't remember it exists until after I finish the run. So it goes. I claim the Sanctuary and Castle of Storms, then buy yet more firebombs. Actually, now that we're here, there's a bit of an exploit we can do. See, the inventory limit for our bombs is 99. But if we drop said bombs on the ground, then go back to the merchant, we can buy more. Now we just pick up our firebombs from earlier, and voila! 131 firebombs to our name. Credit to Submerged Lemon for finding this exploit. I'm a little worried about the Kraken Worm at this point. You'd think, being a dragon, they'd be resistant to fire. And they are, but our damage could be worse. I come very close to death a few times, but the worm goes down first try. The Tree of Men is another boss I'm worried about. Let's just get him out of the way. He's very resistant to fire, and all the ads hanging around are annoying to deal with. I actually died on the first attempt due to poor positioning on my part. The second attempt goes better. Most of it was spent in phase 2 of the fight. When he starts spewing fire, I make use of the iframes you have when climbing onto the platforms, letting you dodge right through it. I make the hike over to the Dome of the Forgotten, then take on the Untouched Inquisitor. His health pool is tiny compared to the last few bosses we faced, so he goes down without much of a fight. The third lamb is up next. This is one of the bosses I'm dreading most, but they aren't as bad as I expected. The poison and lightning are annoying as ever, but we get it on the first try. After some light platforming, we come to the Dryad King. He's super fire resistant, but his attacks are easy enough to dodge. It's a long fight, but in the end, we come out on top. I get the Dart Brand, then take on everyone's favorite Bloodborne boss, the Disemboweled Husk. I roll through all the shots he fires, because that makes sense, throwing bombs when I can. The only real challenge is staying out of his AoE attacks. God damn it, Tony. That Stench Most Foul is next. I make sure to take out the ads when they're summoned, because getting ganged up on this fight is a death sentence. Other than that, it's an easy fight. Afterwards, I put on the Mossy Ring for better stamina regen, and it's on to the Bloodless Prince. This one I'm scared of. He has one of, if not the biggest health bar in the game, and he hits hard. It's a battle of endurance, and I die once to something I'm convinced isn't my fault, but he goes down on the second attempt. Glad that's over. I test if the Bloodflower Ring increases our damage at all to disappointing results. And with 600 firebombs in tow, I take on the Coveted. It's a hard fight, and we deal concerningly little damage. At one point, one of the ghosts just stopped doing anything. I went over to check on them, and they went back to normal. Sometimes that's all we need, isn't it? They go down first try. I head over to the Pitchwoods for my favorite armor set in the game, and Karshja is also there. He's not so bad. The devs buffed his health a little while ago, which makes the fight more tedious than it would have been, but it's another first try. Up next is the Witch of the Lake. This is another boss that will make or break the run, depending on how well we do. Naturally, she's very weak to fire, but the problem is staying alive. I die once to the usual, but 30 bombs later, and she goes down. I decide to take care of Ronan Kran before progressing. He has a health pool that rivals the Bloodless Prince, but his habit of repeatedly standing still for 5 seconds helps. Now we have the Unskinned and the Architect to deal with. Lateralis here is pretty weak to fire, so I take him out first. The Architect's floating orb thingies are annoying to deal with, but they go down after just over 100 bombs. Up in Maul's floating castle is Merdelia Maul. Hey, it looks like we have some spectators for this fight. Oi, that's interference. Jokes aside, Maul is always a tough fight for me. Specifically their Light Rain and this attack. They just always mess me up. After more than a few close calls, we barely beat her. Oh, it looks like our spectators are angry their team didn't win. They calm down after a few bombs. Anyways, I head down to the Crypt of Dead Gods, where I take on the Forgotten Kings. For being a fight with 3 bosses, they aren't too bad. First I take down the King, then the Knight, because they're the tankiest. Then there's the Judge, whose magic attack is really annoying to deal with. Eventually he falls, and it's on to the penultimate boss, Kraken Dragon Skurs. He's an easy fight, all his attacks are telegraphed well and easy to dodge. When you throw a firebomb midair, you hang in place for a while, which lets you hover above this attack. I don't know, I just find that cool. I stock up on firebombs one last time, then descend into the Still Palace. One more boss. The Nameless God is resistant to pretty much everything, including our firebombs. He's also very aggressive and has lots of health, making this a long fight. It's another battle of endurance, between finding an opportunity to throw bombs and avoiding getting hit. But after 114 firebombs, he goes down, and on the first attempt too. I jump into the well, find out you can throw firebombs well in this animation, and it runs over. I had a ton of fun with this. It's a really interesting way to play the game. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, this is a very different video than the ones I usually make. Highly edited and with a script and everything. Sorry for the subpar voice acting, it's not exactly my forte. Kudos to any actual voice actors, by the way. I don't know how you do it. Let me know what you think of this style of video, though. I'm still going to make the more chill videos, and maybe these ones from time to time as well. Again, credit to the Backlogs for doing this first. He makes amazing content. The link to his channel is in the description. Anyhow, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys. Goodbye.